G-Man's face in Half-Life 2 has a short history that extends beyond Half-Life 2. Thanks to the 2004 edition of Raising the Bar, we can read about some of it. Originally, Valve's janitor Frank Sheldon was considered to be the face for Dr. Breen, but he would eventually be selected to be G-Man. Him becoming G-Man took place after Valve artist Bill Van Buren created a Photoshop mock-up of Mr. Sheldon with shorter hair and slightly altered face shape. Here are some of the original reference shots used to create G-Man's face. Mr. Sheldon's face was then edited to give him more of a gaunt look. His face would be revealed to the public ceremoniously at E3 2003.
We've been rather busy in your absence, Mr. Freeman.
As revealed in the final hours of Half-Life Alyx, Frank Sheldon would return to Valve in 2010 to do a new reference shoot for G-Man, as part of a very early test for creating Source 2 characters. An updated face model would be created as part of this. However, this model would not be used for Half-Life Alyx, Valve instead choosing to recreate G-Man's face from scratch for that game's model. Throughout Half-Life Alyx, you can find various posters and signs adorning the walls of the locations you visit. One unused poster for the game, though, is a bit unusual. Listed as a notice for the distillery, this poster appears to be a train schedule for the San Francisco Bay Area in the state of California. Although difficult to read, it is possible to make out stops at San Francisco, San Mateo, Redwood City, Palo Alto, San Jose, Corporal, Logan, and Watsonville. It's possible then that this is a schedule for the now retired Suntan Special route, formerly operated by Southern Pacific Railroad. As for why this is in the game, given it is a skin for this type of notice, it's likely that it was intended to be design inspiration for this style of timetable. When attempting to teleport to Black Mesa East in Half-Life 2, you can spot a Vortigaunt companion with the main cast. When you actually get to Black Mesa East later in the game, he is seen again, even being the person to interact with Eli as you come down the elevator with Dr. Mossman. As per Eli's orders, he'll insert a core into a machine while you talk to Eli. He can later be interacted with in the freeform part of the level.
We are pleased that the Eli Vance thinks so highly of the Freeman. The Eli Vance was our first collaborator.
Sometimes when interacting with him, he'll shoo you away. Later during the attack, multiple Vortigaunts are seen fighting back. He does appear to be in these forces, with the chance for him to die during this engagement. This Vortigaunt is named Louis, as seen in Hammer for the teleport sequence. In both Black Mesa East maps, he's simply given the name Vort Lab. And although unnamed in development, does appear in an early version of Black Mesa East. Here, through dialogue cut even from the beta, he would tell Alex and Gordon about Eli's kidnapping after the Combine attacked Black Mesa East.
Oh my god. No! My father! Where?
Taken with the Mossman.
No! Where? Use your scouts. Can you see them?
Yes, we are watching. Over there, Dead Sea. Above the razor trains. The London of a prospect.
Oh no. Oh, please. Keep watching. Gordon, we have to go after them. Put the word out. Make sure you track them as far as you can. If they change course, we need to know. Come on, Gordon. This way.
Many of Half-Life 2's buildings, although inspired by real places, are custom built by Valve, but a couple of them, like the City 17 train station, are far more connected to real buildings. As discussed in the 2004 version of the Raising the Bar book, the initial designs of City 17 Station, as well as the retail front exterior, are based off of the Nyugati railway station in Budapest, Hungary. And as noted in the book, Nyugati was designed by Alexandre Gustave Eiffel, the man who gave the Eiffel Tower its name. This isn't the only connection to France the train station has. Much of the retail interior of City 17 station was based on the train station that Victor Antonov lived near in Paris, the Gare d'Austerlitz. Mr. Antonov discussed some of this in the 20th anniversary documentary, after having gone to the real Austerlitz again.
At the time when I did my first photo shoot of the Austerlitz station, it was under construction. But then there was no security guards, no fences, even you can just walk and see the broken textures and layers of paint and brick and history. And it was just so cool that I can get this information before it got overbuilt with a new neighborhood. I went to check it out last night, and it happens to be completely destroyed and under construction again. And it just goes back, luckily, coincidentally, to the exact same state where I shot it 25 years ago, actually.
While most of Meet the Heavy takes place in a warehouse, the ending of the trailer takes place on the first point of Dust Bowl. Because Meet the Heavy comes with Source 1 Filmmaker, we can actually take a look at this version of Dust Bowl. The first thing to notice is that this portion of Dust Bowl and the warehouse are actually on the same map. As to be expected, since it is only supposed to be the first point and meant for a scripted short, parts of the map are missing where you can't see them, like in the tunnels. Along with other details like the capture point itself being missing, and the resupply lockers being missing. However, there are certain other smaller details that point to this little snippet being based off of an in-development version of Dust Bowl. For example, the big out-of-bounds building has far more detailing, including a water tower that isn't there. One of the tunnels heading to the second point and red spawn also appears to be somewhat different. One of the out-of-bounds tunnels in the blue spawn also has a light-up texture implying sunlight, which isn't there in retail either. And one of the other tunnels heading towards the second point also has a seemingly cut Easter egg, where a minecart has an engineer toolbox and an ammo crate. And seemingly wrapping these together, a huge chunk of the final 2 points remain, as they are right beside the first point, despite not being in the short. There are smaller differences here too. The stairs surrounding the very final point are smaller, and finally, one of the out-of-bounds areas was also seemingly supposed to use the top secret door texture, which didn't end up happening in retail. On the CS2 version of Train at T-Spawn, there are several boards with all sorts of things you can read. One of which is a route map for the train services you spawn near, NLC. When translated to English, you can see a couple of in-universe stations such as Lesograd 1, the MGP train factories, and the depot for NLC. The others, though, are references to other Counter-Strike maps. These include Inferno, Skyscraper for Vertigo, Office Park for Office, Ancient Ruins for Ancient, Overpass, Nuclear Power Plant for Nuke, Airport for Baggage, and the map Bank from CSGO. train occupies both types of stations, being number 9 on the map, MGP Train Factory North. In Portal 2's 6th chapter, The Fall, you'll have to open a large vault door. Here's how that door came to be.
The size of the gigantic transition seal lock was a happy accident. We knew the connection between the old aperture and the new aperture had to be a big set piece. The first model built was about 5 times bigger than everyone expected, but people started to like it. We joked that it should be a bullet point on the Portal 2 box. Features the biggest door in games ever. We decided it would be fun to play with the player's expectations, and put a puny-looking door behind it, along with a few small props.
This door would reappear twice more, once on the way out of Old Aperture, and once in the original final co-op level for Portal 2.
The human vault is just past that opening. I entered the security code, but the vault door remains locked. I am going to need you to activate the manual locks on the vault door itself.
In the 3rd chapter of Dark Carnival in Left 4 Dead 2, you go through a tunnel of love. For most of the journey, you follow the direct path of the tunnel itself, only detouring through a maintenance area. However, it appears you were originally going to go through even more of the ride. Before and after the aforementioned maintenance room are gates blocking the rest of the tunnel, which you can see through. It appears, though, this section of tunnel was once playable, as not only is the tunnel complete, there is an unseen arrow pointing the way for the survivors. There's also an unfinished room, which is better seen in Hammer.